I pulled into the lot in my old rattly SUV, the kind that makes folks stare, just not in a good way. The Arizona sun was blazing, the kind that bakes through your windshield and makes every step on the asphalt feel personal. I didn't park in any reserved spot, didn't expect special treatment. I just wanted to see how they'd treat someone like me when they thought I was nobody. I wore a pale cotton dress, flip-flops that had been with me too long, and carried my frayed canvas tote like a badge of honor. Nothing flashy, on purpose, because just a week before, I'd bought that whole dealership, Delano Prestige Autos, and not a single person in there had a clue who I was. Soon as I stepped inside, that AC slapped me in the face, which felt great, until I caught the stares. The receptionist's smile barely formed before it fell. She glanced at my feet, my bag, my skin, then asked, "Can I help you?" With that tone. You know the one, sweet enough to pass, but with a twist of, "You don't belong here." I said, "Just browsing," and took my time walking through. Two sales guys leaned in behind her, Brett and Mason. One muttered something about free water. They both snickered like kids who'd never been corrected. Yeah, I heard it, but I didn't flinch. I just kept walking. Then comes Madison, the manager, strutting across the floor in heels sharp enough to slice tile, clipboard in hand, like it's a shield. She sees me eyeing this sleek black coupe and steps right between us, blocking me like it's her job to guard the thing from people like me. "Can I help you?" she asks, too polite to be real. That model's reserved for serious clients. We do financial pre-screening and appointment-only viewings. I smiled and said, "Just wanted to take a closer look." She scanned me from head to toe. "Well, I can show you our pre-owned section. It's a bit more accessible." That word? Accessible. It's always dressed up to sound helpful, but you know what it really means. She hands me a flyer titled Affordable Inventory. All 10-year-old sedans, high miles, low expectations. I looked at her and said, "Why'd you think I'd be interested in used cars?" She hesitated. "It's just our process for walk-ins, that's all. We usually deal with pre-qualified buyers." I gave her a nod like, "Got it." But inside, I was clocking every smirk, every sideways glance, every assumption they made without knowing a single thing about me. Then I walked right back to that coupe, and this time I touched it. Just a light hand on the hood. The room shifted. Madison stormed back over. "Ma'am, I told you not to touch the display." Her voice was loud enough for the entire floor to hear. Customers started watching. Staff froze like statues. I looked her in the eye and asked, "Who decides who gets access here?" "The owner," she said, stiff as ever. "Perfect," I replied. "Could you put me in touch with them?" "They're unavailable. Busy. You can leave your info with customer service." I smiled again, cool, calm, and said, "No problem. I'll just call him." That got their attention. I pulled out my phone. The room went quiet. Real quiet. Classical music still played faintly in the background, like it didn't get the memo. I called, loud enough for them to hear. "Hi, David. I'm in the showroom. Looks like we've got a bit of a situation. Mind stopping by?" And just like that, the mood snapped. Brett dropped his coffee. Chloe at the desk looked like she'd seen a ghost. Madison turned pale. No one spoke. 10 minutes later, The front doors opened and in walked David Lynn, regional director, sharp suit, calm stride. Walked right up to me and said, "Miss Langston, sorry for the wait. Are we ready to meet the team?" Every head turned. David looked around and said, "Everyone, I'd like you to meet your new boss. This is Naomi Langston, owner of Delano Prestige Autos." The room froze. You could have heard a single breath. Madison looked like she forgot how to blink. Brett and Mason? Suddenly fascinated by their shoes. Chloe? Couldn't even look me in the eye. David didn't waste a beat. "We'll be holding an all-staff meeting. 10 minutes, mandatory." In that meeting, I didn't shout. I didn't slam the table or fire people on the spot. I just asked one question. If I walked in today as just another woman off the street, not the owner, not wealthy, would I have gotten basic respect? Nobody answered, because everyone already knew. Madison finally spoke, voice trembling. "I'm so sorry, Miss Langston. I judged you. I forgot what fairness is supposed to look like." I nodded. Apology noted, but this place changes today. I rolled out retraining. Not the usual surface-level nonsense. I mean real work, bias, respect, empathy. And yeah, some folks left, but some stayed. Madison stayed. So did Chloe. And they've been rebuilding what they helped break. Now, when someone walks into Delano Prestige, they get greeted with a genuine smile. Not because they might be someone important, but because they already are. People ask me all the time, "Why didn't you just fire them all?" And I get it. Part of me wanted to. But sometimes, justice doesn't mean burning it all down. Sometimes it means holding people accountable, and then giving them the space to grow. So now I'll ask you, what would you have done? Would you have exposed them? Forgiven them? Walked out without saying a word? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you've been through. If you've ever been judged by what you wore, how you looked, the car you drove, or didn't. I know I'm not the only one. And maybe, just maybe, if we talk about it, next time someone like me walks in the door, they'll get treated like they belong. Because we all do, whether we wear a suit or flip-flops. Thanks for listening. And hey, if you've ever been underestimated, hit that like. We're not done flipping the script.